after the pandemic, we all have had a lot of anxiety, and speaking about it is important.
Scott, is a pleasure to speak with you. I'm speaking today with Scott Edelman, the simulation lead technical director on Inside Out 2. It is an absolute joy to chat with you. Thank you so much for the time.
Thanks for having me, Steve. It's great to be here.
Now, maybe you can clarify with us too the role of the simulation lead technical director, and what is it that you're bringing to the film?
Sure, yeah, it's a lot of words to describe a fairly simple idea. Our team of simulators, sim artists, brings to the film the motion and life that you see in hair and clothing for the most part. So if a character is running across the screen or standing still, we're adding the dress movements to flash across the screen, or the subtle wind in the hair during a quiet moment to bring some emotion to any given scene that's already been animated.
I love that because, certainly bringing emotion into the scene applies here. And, these little details are the things that do that. And I was wondering, in your mind, how do you decide, or what is the process of trying to create someone like anxiety or these emotions in general, but anxiety especially is such a frenetic character and all over the place.
She is. I think when the character design team is trying to figure out what to do for a character, I think they think about what does the character need to bring to the story, and what do we feel when we just even see the character? Does the character elicit a feeling of anxiety in us? And I think even with simulation, the hair on anxiety becomes a character unto itself. So it's not a simple process of just make it move with her when she moves. It actually became a direction of directing the actual emotion from her. So when she's excited, it shoots up. When she's confused, maybe it curls down, things like that. So it became more of a character unto itself in that case.
Well, I can see that like this is one of the things, again, these little details that create so much because her character is so rich, and all of the characters are wonderful in this particular film. I wanted to ask you too about the idea of the sense of self, because I know that that's quite a visual thing in this particular film, and I love the move into that aspect as of course Riley gets older. And certainly these little details creating that sense of self visually, but also what do you think makes up our sense of self?
Sure. I think our sense of self gets made up of our experiences, our emotions while we experience those experiences throughout life, and also how we treat ourselves for feeling those emotions, whether we're hard on ourselves or accepting of the experiences we've had and the reactions we've had to that. So, whether you made a mistake or not, whether you accept that in yourself, I think it all goes to building up a sense of self, whether you are hard on yourself or more self-forgiving, I think.
I mean, it is such a beautiful film, both visually and story wise. Wondering, for your perspective, what is the most important aspect that you hope people take away from Inside Out 2?
I think that similar to the first film, I hope it gives people a way of talking about their emotions in a more open and honest way, even if it's just giving new tools and new ways of thinking about the way we're feeling, sharing with other people. I've heard stories of schools that use the original Inside Out movie as a way for kids to help express their emotions, to ask them, who's driving your console today? How are you feeling? And I think that we can continue something like that with anxiety and the new emotions in Inside Out too, because after the pandemic, we all have had a lot of anxiety, and speaking about it is important. So I hope that people bring that away from this.
I appreciate that because certainly the addition of anxiety is something, like you said, everybody can connect with. It feels like right now it's such an important and essential topic, and the way it's handled is just beautiful and stunning. Honestly, thank you so much, Scott, for the time. I really appreciate it. Have a
Uh,
great day.
Thank you. You too. Take care.
Thanks so much.
Thanks.